thought about that. I literally thought about that, and I said, I'm gonna make sure that I announce this time what the business is. Well, we're live, girl. So I'm wondering how, because see, when I used to go live on Facebook, it was easier to share that I'm live. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to
all I
figure out.
did was hit the link. All I did was copy and paste the link onto my page and
Okay.
reposted the poster. Hit the link.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna share it like this. I'm gonna go on Facebook. Mhm. Some kids. Okay. All right. So, hi everyone. Welcome. Welcome to
Hola,
another
hola, hola.
episode of Conversations. Um, so I'm just hitting that we're live. I like to share that we live and
Okay.
go from there. So that's that. Okay, Rochelle, we're here for another
Chit
I
chat.
was gonna say Wednesday night, but I'm so used to Wednesday night, but Thursday, I kind of like Thursday. A little Thursday night chit chat. How are you feeling?
I am feeling great. Happy to be here again.
I'm so excited to be here. And thank you so much for being here. I love having you here.
I love
I
being
think
here.
we vibe so good together. And I think we're like so in sync
Yes.
and all the things. And we kind of get it. We get each other. So I love that.
We
Okay,
try. We try.
so tonight we are going to be talking about imposter syndrome and how to get out of your own way. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Are you ready, Rochelle?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're going to hit this intro and we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. So to jump right into things, Rochelle, would you give us a little bit of a definition? What is imposter syndrome? What is this thing that's got us all in a chokehold? I know it's got me in a chokehold.
Oh, girl, girl. I think it happens to the best of us. I mean, basically, imposter syndrome. There's a couple of definitions for imposter syndrome,
Hmm.
but the one that comes to mind right away is it's when you basically either don't feel like you're good enough for
Hmm.
what you're trying to do.
Hmm.
You don't feel like you know enough when
Mm,
you
mm,
actually do, but you keep trying to uh, gather up more information. It's like you never feel ready to get on stage and perform. You're
yeah,
always in
yeah,
in that rehearsal stage instead
mm,
of getting on stage and performing.
yeah.
And so there's a lot of different aspects to the whole imposter syndrome thing. Lack of confidence,
Hmm.
perfectionism. I know I struggle with
I
that.
struggle with that myself.
Yeah,
Virgo, the Virgo in
I
me
got
can't
some
help
Virgo
it.
placement.
Yeah.
So the going, with the perfectionism thing, you're always going over and over and over things. Even like if it's your makeup, you're going over and over and over until it's perfect. You got to get the perfect line. You got to, you know,
All the things. It's got to be blended in because I
blended.
have this issue every single time.
Yes,
We be behind the scenes like, okay,
yes,
but how's my contour? Like, is my
exactly,
concealer blended? Like, we
exactly.
do this, we get on, we want to see the lights, but the lights got to be right, when you're doing the
Right.
show or whatever. So, yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that. Mhm.
Yes. So, but a lot of us get stuck in the whole imposter syndrome thing. And when I really thought about it, I was like, where did that word come from?
Yeah, where does that come from? Where does that
Imposter syndrome. Like,
Yeah, it's an imposter. When I think of imposter, I think someone's like breaking in and somebody's in the wrong place, or like they're trying to take over and they're trying to
Hmm.
hijack, they're
Right.
trying to hijack, you or your space or what you have, what's yours, your things. They're trying to like get in the way of it or take it or um that's what I think of, like a hijacking when I think of imposter.
I think of fraudulence when I think of
Ooh,
imposter,
that is fraudulent. Yeah.
right? I think of
Uh-huh.
someone who's a fraud. And
Yeah.
a lot of us who identify with some of the aspects of that fall under the category of imposter syndrome,
Mhm.
we're not frauds, right?
We're not frauds. I'm not a fraud.
I'm not fraud,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But when I sat back and I really, 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 really thought about this, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's not to put the light on other people, but this is just how I break down things in my mind.
Mhm.
When I sat back and observed, I was like, the real people that, the real imposters
Mhm.
don't have imposter syndrome. Like they
Mm.
they don't have
Mm.
imposter. I don't know if you ever noticed, like people. I don't know if you've seen people that are not really who, like say online, they're not really who they say they are,
Mhm.
but when they get out in the light, it's like you can't tell. Like they have a confidence with them, like they believe themselves.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you ever noticed anyone like that.
Like an example, who? Could you
Well,
give
I
an
can't say a
example?
name, but I'm talking about
Oh,
like
you can't say it.
if I mean I would know who I'm talking about, but I'm talking about like if you ever had I don't want to say a friend, but just anyone in your life. Have you ever seen like maybe a liar in action?
And then they'll pretend they're one way, but then in reality they're not that way.
Right. But
Yes.
but do you see how confident they are? Like they
They're
don't.
super confident with it. It's like they're
Right.
real good at it. They're real good at it. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. I've
Right.
seen this. Mhm.
So what I noticed is a lot of the people that I know, especially the most super talented people,
Mhm.
they have that stage fright. They're scared to be seen and they're the authentic ones. So I'm like, why is it that the authentic people play the background so much
Mhm. Mhm.
and certain people, not everybody, because again, I'm not putting the light on just a particular person or blah blah blah,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. But they're good with it. They're like they know how to like fake it till you make it. They know how to fake the funk. They know how to be, you know, this this big
Character.
personality, but
Hmm.
it's like that's fake because that's
Yeah,
not really that. None of that is true. Everything you got up there and said, everything you turned on this camera and said was not true. But
exactly.
they're yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They know how to fake it.
So that's when I started dissecting that, I like realized something. I was like, I feel like because it goes back to where did that term imposter syndrome come from? And
Right.
I'm a firm believer that the ones who make up the solution or the terms are usually the ones who cause the problem.
Mm,
And so
mhm.
for me, it was like, let's be clear, social media, okay, it's real easy for people to create an image
Mhm, mhm,
on
mhm.
social media.
Yeah.
And so what I realized is the reason why there's so many people dealing with imposter syndrome
Mhm.
is because they're kind of inadvertently comparing themselves to what they see online.
Other people, yeah,
Right.
and not even realizing that what they see online is the fake it till you make it, is
Yeah.
the fraudulent, is the phony. And
Right.
so, yeah.
So the thing is, I feel like many of us, I mean, but this was set up on purpose to do that, right?
Mhm.
To kind of, and girl, you know me off camera, you already know how I am. My mind goes,
A million different ways.
don't
Yes.
get me into thinking. I'm gonna start thinking, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, you got to really go here with me, right?
Mhm,
This
mhm.
is why I said this has to be like, where did this term come from? Now we're in a society where you have to be a certain way to get things, or to for your talents to be recognized, or you have to be affiliated with certain people. You have to have certain numbers, certain
All of
followers,
that. You gotta
right?
have all of that. Yeah.
So um you have it where you'll go on somebody's page and you'll see millions of followers on their page,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But a lot of times they bought those followers.
They bought them, and you're looking around. It's like you've got all these followers, but you don't have much interaction though. Like they're not interacting. So, yeah, they bought it.
But
Hmm.
and they're bots, right?
They're
But
bought.
to the average eye who doesn't know what goes on behind the scenes that creates the illusion,
Hmm. Hmm.
the person, the entrepreneur who's working their tail off and posting and doing this, and they're like, dang, why I can't get followers? Why I can't? This is where the imposter syndrome comes in, because now you're thinking
Yeah.
about, you think you're lacking something because you don't have what they have, or you're not getting the numbers, you're not getting the results
And
that
the
you want to
whole
get.
time
It's fake.
it's fake. So then this makes me wonder is do we really have the imposter syndrome, or are we picking up what, like, they're the imposter, you're the fraud? So am I just really picking up from outside things this energy, this like what they're putting out? Like it's not even really me,
Hmm.
but it's I wish I could explain it the way that I'm trying to explain it, but it's almost
You feel like
like
it's like a projection,
it's a projection from someone else and maybe we're picking it up. No,
but
never
isn't
mind.
it more so of the way that system is set up is to make authentic people feel like they have to get in the rat race to get up higher?
All of it.
That would
All
make
of
sense.
that. All of that. Because then it's to throw you off. Because anytime you're really living in your authenticity, then you are, this is how you can vibrate higher. This is how you elevate. This is how you know, align yourself to the things that are meant for you, your blessings. This is how your gifts and all these things activate and turn on and come alive. And they're like on 1,000. And so that would make so much sense. Like, no, let's throw them off because we don't want none of that. So,
Because if
we're
I
going
can
to,
get you to feel like you're not enough, it's going to
mm,
stop you.
it's going to stop you. Yes, because when you feel like you're enough and when you are actually contributing to the collective,
Hello?
your things, your gifts, your what you're meant to be here, your purpose, your
Hmm.
mission, then it elevates us
You
all
following
as a
me?
collective.
You following me?
This
You
is, ooh,
see what I'm
girl.
saying? Because I sat there and I'm like, okay, why would they even why would they even offer ways to purchase fake followers?
Right. What would be the point?
Because they know that a person like you or me,
Mm-hmm.
if you're building something organic,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, never mind. Forget me and you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's say somebody's selling something, right? And
Right.
they purchased followers,
Mm-hmm.
and they went from 100 followers overnight. Now they're at 50K, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens is, if I see that person on my timeline
Mm-hmm.
selling a product, when I look at their followers and I see 50K, oh, their product must be good.
It must be
Because I
something.
see 50K, because not everybody's going to click that 50K and see that it's a bunch of bots. Because you can tell
Mm-hmm.
when it's fake. There's two ways you could, girl, I'm telling secrets. I'm sorry.
Tell the secrets
you
because
can
we need to know.
you can tell when it's fake when you have 50K followers and 8 likes. You can tell when it's fake when it's 50K followers and it's like everybody on there has like a Russian name or a Chinese name or something.
Yeah, and then there's, even if there's a profile, you click on it, that profile has like zero pictures.
Yep.
It's a private profile. It's no follow, very barely any followers. Get all of that. It's so many ways
Exactly.
to tell when it's a fake page, like a bot page.
Right.
Hmm.
So these are the tactics. Obviously, these things were put out. I mean, to make money, right? Because somebody's paying for someone to do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, but it is also to kind of keep down the collective who is authentic, who builds their brands organically,
Hmm.
stop them from doing things. But that's neither here nor there. It's like this imposter syndrome stuff. It was all an illusion. To me, it's all an illusion, right?
Yeah, it sounds like an illusion. It doesn't even sound like that. That's why I was saying, like, it doesn't even sound like it's my thing, like it's
Right.
me, like it feels like something's being projected onto me or trying to be solicited onto me. And sometimes, and because, you know, um, I was just saying this earlier, we're so sensitive because we are spiritual beings. We're so sensitive to things and energies and things that are happening around us. And it's easy for us to pick it up and to absorb, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so this is how it gets onto us. Like, I don't want
Right.
to feel like this. Like, I don't want to. But it's built that way.
It's set up
Stop
that way.
it.
It's set
Stop
up that way.
it.
You know what I'm saying? To make you
It's
doubt
awful.
yourself, make you doubt your gifts, right?
Yeah.
So
Like
that
maybe you're not on the right track, you
right.
know?
So that
Oh
when
my
you
God.
doubt yourself, now you're going to recruit that help. You're going to pay for that service that helps build your. You got to think about all of this, right? Because as a coach, I struggled with it. I struggled with it because of the fact, I love what I do. My whole mission is to empower people to live
Mm-hmm.
in their own truth,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And with coaches, they they swindle coaches. There's programs to swindle coaches on how to build their business, right?
Wow.
In
Mm-hmm.
ways that I don't align with, right?
Right.
I'm
Right,
not
right, right.
knocking anyone that does that, but morally, I don't align with it. Like certain things like funnels, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you'll press a button, it'll say it's a free offer, and then all of a sudden that button takes you down to a whole nother offer. And now you didn't got to check out. It went from free and now it's $150. Like,
Thank you. That whole thing. Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's me though, right? I don't align with that
I don't align with it. I don't
because
align with it.
I'm lying, right?
Right.
To get
Pretty
there.
much. Pretty
Um,
much.
so I struggled with that because of the whole, the funnels things, just making up stuff to try to get traffic and things like that. And I was just like, wow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not into all of that. And
Mm-mm. It's a
um,
lot.
another way that imposter syndrome may show up, where it comes to comparing yourself, like, again, when I was becoming a coach, it was like, I don't talk like most of the coaches that I see. I don't feel like uh, I'm proper enough or I speak proper enough. I
Yeah.
consider myself to be a laid back, around the way, home girl type of
I
person.
love it. I love it. Uh-huh.
That's who I am at my core. Like I don't feel like, yes, my vocabulary can be extensive, but do I want to use it all the time? No, I don't. Right?
No, I
Like
just want to talk. I want to get to the point. I don't want to use all these big words. I want you
it,
to, when I talk to you, I want you to get what I'm
I want to
putting
be
down.
direct.
I
I
want
want
you
to
to
be
pick up what
straight
I'm
up.
putting down. Absolutely.
Right?
And that's something I don't like either with it because
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about. And then it makes me feel like, is something wrong with me? Am I a little off? Like, I don't like that. Just say what you're saying and get to the point. Yeah.
But there's nothing actually wrong with that. It's just for me personally, this is where my quote unquote imposter syndrome came in that kind of stagnated me. I was like, I feel like I'm gonna have to go and be something that present something that I'm really not, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A personality that's not fitting of me, right? And
Right.
so I even went and I got therapy. Like I went to therapy to try to see where my blocks were because I was like, I was getting clients, but I'm kind of like in the back end, but I'm doing it the organic way, right?
Right. Right.
Which works for me. And it was through therapy that I realized, I was giving myself a bunch of, I would give myself a list of things that I don't want to do. I don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like I would be able to point out, I don't want to buy followers. I don't want to do this. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to, but I was focusing more on what I don't want
Right.
than what I do want. Right.
Right. Right.
And that's when, my therapist told me, when I told her that I was struggling with the whole, um, maybe the way that I talk and things like that. She was like, well, the people that need you the way that you are right now.
Right. This is true.
And so that's what I wanted to share today. That is very important for everyone else that feels like they want to, they desire to be at a level or they desire to do something, but yet they
Mm-hmm.
feel like, they're not good enough or they don't show up the way other people that do that thing that they want to do shows up. People need you in your essence because there's a
Right.
tribe for you.
Right. Right. Right.
There
Right.
are people that want to align with you the way that you are right now.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. And they need what you have right now.
exactly.
And I just feel like when you break it down in the way of it's set up this way, for us to see a certain thing and go with it. I even would like to take it a little further and just say that in order for us to, I feel, to know to be subjected to what other people are doing and feel away and feel like you need to be somehow you mirror that or match that. Would you agree that it could stem from childhood as well? Just from maybe what your parents say, or it's got to be this way, or the different things that you go through in school. Because I know you and I spoke about just being bullied in school and growing up, and I talk about it all the time. And I just feel like going through that sort of thing, I almost feel like it trains your mind that you have to be this way, because it's not socially acceptable. And if you want to be a part, and if you want to be unbothered, and if you want to fit in, if you want to blend in, then you got to
Mhm.
learn how to do it the way that the majority is doing it. And I just feel like even that trains your mind. Because, like, let's just say if you were in a situation where you had a parent that was like, no, you're going to be this way, or you're going to be different, or if it was taught like being different is okay, and like if it was an okay thing, then you would grow up knowing like, I don't want to fit in because I know who
Right.
I am, I know what I like, I know, this is the norm, this is what's acceptable. I just
Mhm.
feel like as an adult, you'll be okay with being who you are and that sort of thing. And I just feel like somewhere in life, I feel like you almost have to be trained in a way. You know what I mean? Like you're to know like this, if you don't do it like this, you get what I'm trying to say? Like if you're almost trained to be like, I need to do what everybody else is doing to fit in, otherwise I'm gonna somehow be ostracized or
Mhm.
kicked out or kicked away, I feel like. And then as you grow into an adult, and then you have stuff like social media, because we didn't have social media growing up, but then you have stuff like this, it almost like it's like an adult reinforcement of
Mhm.
what we learned and how we had to be as kids, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Because
Yeah.
you're right on point with that. Your parents or your peers when you're growing up, like your parents will tell you you have to be a certain way in public or you have to do a certain thing, right? Your
Right.
peers, when you get around your peers are telling you you got to act a certain way or you got to dress a certain way to be down,
Right.
right? So now
Right.
when you become an adult, even when you branch out into your careers, you go to work, there's a code of conduct. You have to do this a certain way. There's an instruction manual of this. Yeah, like you're an entrepreneur. They're giving you guidelines of how to do your thing. And it's like, wait a minute, God put this in me, put this idea in
To
me.
do it exactly the way that I meant to do it, just even down to you have to raise your hand in school to speak, or you have to single file it down the line, down the hallway, or just everything in just have you got to ask permission to go to the restroom. Just all this stuff just sets your brain up for it has to go a certain way and it has to be approved by somebody
Yeah,
in order for it to be okay and to be a thing. And literally, we are almost this imposter syndrome is literally beat into us or almost drilled into our brain. We are brainwashed with it. It's literally not even something that's ours. It's not even something we're born with. It's not even
right.
something that is something to claim or to accept, but it's literally just like brainwashed
You,
into your mind.
you're hitting it. The imposter feeling, the feelings of being an imposter is actually coming from the fact that you feel like you're being forced to have to be something different than what you are. In order for you to do the thing that God instructed you to do, you have to do it the way somebody else is telling you to do it because they're saying that's the right way. But wait a minute, right? Because I struggled with that, right? And I'm gonna tell you what
Yes.
happened to me. I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. I had to sit down with my higher self.
Yes, I know that's it.
Let
I
me
know
tell
that
you
you
something.
did.
I had a whole sit down. I'm about to tell you what happened, girl. Let me
Okay,
tell you.
tell me. I'm
So I'm
ready.
sitting there and I'm like, okay, Rochelle, 1 minute, this gotta be good enough. This ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. This got to be good enough before I do this. That got to be good enough before I do this. Okay, so when is it gonna be God enough instead of good enough?
Ooh, instead of good enough.
When is the instruction from God gonna be enough for you to just do what you set out to do?
What you set out to
Because
do.
as parents, you're a mom. I'm a mom. I know that if I tell Nick, throw out the garbage, and he tells me,
Yeah,
all right, I gotta finish my homework first. All right, cool.
right.
2 hours later, Nick, throw out the garbage.
Did you do
Oh,
it?
give me a second. I'm on the phone. Da da da. Okay. 2 hours later, Nick, throw out the garbage. If he gives me another excuse, I'm ready to bring the garbage on his bed, right?
And bring it to you. Bring it to you, basically. Yeah, yeah.
So imagine what your creator who instructed you to do the thing feels like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when you're being instructed to do something, but every time you turn around, it's, but I got to do this first. But I got to do this. But I got to do this. But I got to do this. Is
And I gotta do it like this, or no, it ain't gonna be socially acceptable if I do that, or oh, I'm trying to do it, but I gotta figure out how getting these followers, or how, because it's gotta be like this, or
but wait, did I ask you or did I instruct you?
did I just tell you to do the thing, or what? Like, what is happening here? Like, what is going on? Like, why are we doing this? Why are
What's this
we
back and
having
forth about? What's this
what
back
is
and
this?
forth about? And then
What is
what
this back and
happens?
forth?
What usually happens? You heard what I just said. I'd be about to throw the garbage on his bed, right? So what happens
Absolutely.
when we keep giving excuses? We're tossed into things and things go crazy and things go up
And
and
it
down.
feels uncomfortable, and then you're in there, like it's almost like you've been tossed on a sheet of ice and you slip slide, like what? Okay, wait, I'm not. And it's like, I just told you, just do it, just do what I told you to do, and you
And the only reason
mm,
that you're giving yourself all these excuses is because you allowed all the distractions around you to listen to the instruction that you were divinely guided to do. And how audacious is it of us as human beings?
please talk about it.
How audacious is it of us to think that we're owed more time? Like, who told you you have tomorrow?
Who said that? Who told you? You got the nerve to be like, I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and lay down bundled up good with the blanket pulled over you. Like you getting up tomorrow, like you got time to do that tomorrow. Because who
The
told you that?
audacity, the big audacity.
Who
So can
told
you
you?
imagine being the creator of all things and somebody telling you, wait a minute, that's grace and mercy, honey, because a lot of us got a lot of grace and mercy. A lot of us got a lot of grace and mercy. Me, I got grace and mercy.
I got a lot of grace and mercy. I'm living off of grace and mercy.
Right.
I'm like right now as we speak, this is grace and mercy. How dare we?
And the thing
And
is, go ahead. No, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
The thing is, it's like, we're always thinking that we have more time, or we're thinking that we're not good enough, or we didn't reach these milestones yet, not even realizing sometimes we're already sitting in a manifestation.
Speak about it. Sometimes you got to look around and just be like, and realize you are exactly where you were like years ago praying to be. You're
Hello?
there. You're there.
But
The audacity.
the audacity, because we're always looking for the next thing, or the reaching to reach the next goal,
Yeah.
to get that next number, to it's always the next thing. It's never sitting down and realizing, wow, this was once the dream. This was once something I wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
So how can you feel
Yeah.
like you're not good enough if you've already made it this far?
Mm. And how can you feel like you're not, and it's about you're not feeling like you're good enough. And I think it's not enjoying the journey. I
Right.
think like we were talking about that's with me. Like I'm a person that needs to see the end. Let me see what
Mm-hmm.
that end thing is. But it's about enjoying the journey because of the lessons and the growth and the things that you experience and that you learn and that you see, and how it's building you up and taking you from one point to the next. And that hit me the other day because I think we're so busy, and this is how the imposter gets on us too, because
Mm-hmm.
we're so busy trying to keep up and so busy like, oh no, it's got to get here now and fast, like the way I see it.
Right.
And sometimes you don't realize that once you've hit that end goal, then that's the mission, that's it, and you've rushed yourself to, that's it, that's all I need you to do here, come on home my child, and you've rushed the end to the end of your life. And I'm not saying that's the case, because sometimes when you reach that goal, then there's the
Right.
next one, and you have mission and you have mission and mission. But it's literally about enjoying the journey, like
And
enjoying the moment and being present. And I have to ground myself often, because whenever I feel like I'm getting anxious, because sometimes this makes you feel anxious, this imposter syndrome will bring on the panic attacks and that sort of thing, because you're feeling like something needs to be a certain way. And oftentimes I'm having to like snap my fingers or pinch myself or clap my hands, like, no, be in the moment, what's happening right now, what can and it's another thing about, and I feel like we've jumped into the, because I was going to get to the, well, how do we get out of the imposter syndrome? But I think
mm-hmm.
those are the few things that I feel helps me. It's about just being present in the present moment, because tomorrow isn't promised and
True.
yesterday is gone. All you have right now literally is today. This is it. So while you worried about something else that's coming or may not even come, this right now is what you have. And if you
Right.
focus on that, then it kind of helps. But yes, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no,
You were
you're
saying
good.
something else. But I did want to, once you finish what you're saying, yeah, I would
Mm-hmm.
like to know, what are your tips and suggestions for
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
out of your own way? Because this imposter syndrome is just putting yourself in a place of getting in your own way,
Yep.
literally.
Yep.
So,
It's
yeah,
paralyzing. It's
it's so
paralyzing.
paralyzing, and it keeps you stuck and
It does.
stagnant, and
It
it
does.
blocks you so
It
bad.
does. It does.
Oof.
And one of the biggest reasons why people suffer with imposter syndrome is the fear of failure, the fear of
Mm,
somebody looking at them and saying they're not really that, or
mhm.
basically they failed at it. But to be honest with you, if you don't try, you've already failed by default. You've already failed. So
Because
you might as
sometimes
well.
not doing anything is failing. Just people think, oh well, I'm not gonna do nothing. No, you got to do something, and sometimes that right there is enough to just okay.
Exactly.
That's you failed just because you
Exactly.
didn't do nothing.
Yep. Yep. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, when I first moved here, I was in the medical field, but I wanted to be a makeup artist. I became a makeup artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
I became a makeup artist. I was amongst people that now are doing really, really big things.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the mix, doing makeup with certain
Me
celebrities
too.
and stuff,
Me
right? I
too.
was in it.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. Now,
Same
the
here.
great the great thing was I did it. I did it for a couple of years. So I can
Mm-hmm.
say I did it. I can say I tried it. I can say I was good at it, but I realized it wasn't for me anymore,
Yep.
right?
You had done
Instead
what
of
you needed to do in it.
exactly. It connected me to who I needed to be connected with, people that I needed to see, the people that I needed to meet. It gave me experience, but then I realized I didn't want to do it anymore. You
Yep.
know, there were
Yep.
certain things about it that were just not for me, right?
Right. Right.
And guess what? I'm good. I can go to my maker knowing that I at least did that, right?
At least. Yep.
Because you
Yep.
tried that. And
Yep.
and you didn't fail at it. You decided it wasn't for you.
And it could have just been you did what you were meant to do with it, and it was
In
time
that
to move on to
season.
the next thing. That was your
In that
season, and the
season.
season was done. Period.
Exactly. So is there really a fail?
It's not a fail.
There's never really a fail. The thing is
No.
we take this, and I'm not saying don't take things seriously, but this life that we're given could be a straight playground for us.
It could be a playground, and I see it so much in my charts and like my gene keys and
Hmm.
the all the things.
Hmm.
I see that so much that I'm meant to come here and this be an experience,
Yeah.
and that this is just an experience. We are literally here um as like a spark from source, and this is source's way, God's way of experiencing, having this experience in different ways. And so literally, and I'm not saying that it's not serious, because child, I cry
Right,
like it
right.
is serious. I'm like, this is the end of life.
Listen.
But it's like at the end of the day, this is literally we're meant it's a stage, it's a school, it's a show. It's
Yeah.
literally meant to come here to learn lessons, to have the experience and let it go. At the
It,
end of the day, I am not from this life. I'm not
yeah.
even, I'm, because after this is done, I'm going back to my home.
Listen.
Like,
Listen.
this is it. I'm literally meant to just be here and experience. And like you said, this could be our playground. We could literally have whatever experience we want and
Right.
enjoy it. It doesn't have to be the worst, you know?
It's funny that you mentioned the gene keys and human design because, like, in my gene keys, I'm meant to be intoxicated by life. So
See?
my thing is, but see, that also shows you, right? The way this society is set up, they give you guidelines to follow on how to do things, right?
Yep.
But really, we're all individuals and we're all here to experience it a different way. We're not here to fall in line and do what this one
No,
is doing.
that's
You're
right.
supposed to do Candace's way. Rochelle is supposed to do Rochelle's way. We're all supposed to be here dancing together. Like all of
That's
our
right.
skills are
That's
just
right.
supposed to be vibrating together. Not
Mm-hmm.
me trying to be like Candace, not me following Candace rules.
No, not
That's
at all.
that's why
That's
people feel like
exactly right.
imposters because why wouldn't I feel like an imposter if I'm not being Rochelle? I'm trying to be like Candace.
Thank you. Then you're the imposter.
Where
That's where the imposter comes
did
in,
it come from?
when we're trying to be what we are not.
I'm
And I
trying to
literally
follow
just
your
made
rules.
yeah, and I literally just made a post about this, just saying that we're in this rat race, steadily trying to become who we are. Like you are already,
You
you're
already
already, and you're still out here like, okay, I need to do it this way, or I need to do it that way, or how do I need to do it? What do I need to be? What like, and no, you're not
but
supposed
who
to do
told you
any
you're
of it.
not? Who
And
told you
who
you're not?
told?
You want to know one of the ways they told you you're not? Remember, I talked
Mhm.
about this before. You already knew how to do hair. I already knew how to do makeup. You still had to go to some kind of beauty school to get a certificate or something to say that you did it, right?
Exactly, exactly.
So all the little girls that grow up already knowing how to braid already, they still got to go get a license
And with somebody tell them that they're licensed and have the ability to do it.
when they came
Why?
out knowing how to do it. So
And they
that's
put you in a
where,
box in guidelines. I can't stand none of it. And people are always looking at me like, when you gonna put your kids in school? You gonna homeschool them forever, forever? Because what I'm not gonna have is them going and being put into a box and being structured a certain way. Um, and a lot of it stems from that. A lot of, even now my daughter comes to me and she's like, "Well, what do you like, Mom? Do you like this? Or should I wear this? Do you think this
right.
looks nice?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you think?" She's like, "I don't know. I want to know what you think." And I'm like, "No, I want to know what you think." And I'm like, What's the first thought that you thought?" "Well, I
Candace,
think it looks really good. I think it's so beautiful." And I'm like, "I think so too. I really think what you think for yourself should
Candace,
be it."
Candace,
Hmm.
I just want to take 2 seconds
Okay.
to say thank you for that. And I'm
Hmm.
gonna tell you why. And if
Okay.
any of my friends are watching, they know. I can't stand. I always say I might not be a girl's girl.
Okay.
I can't stand when I'm going out with my friends and they say, "What are you wearing?" Or they're asking me a bunch of questions. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, how do I look? What I said, do
Do
you
you
like
like
what you
it?
have on?
Yeah.
Or if someone asks me, why do you need to know what I'm wearing for you to know what you're gonna wear? I
And I'm
need you.
guilty. I'm guilty because I've been socially conditioned to
Uh-uh.
think like, okay, what is the what it, but see, I'm not around people anymore in that way. Like I don't have the friendships in that way to need to do that. So I feel like, and everything happens for a reason, because when you're on your path and you're working on yourself and you're undoing, see, I'm so excited that my daughter is not going to have to do that because I'm doing all the work for her and I'm
There you go.
undoing all the things because that's what I felt like. I needed somebody to be able to say, like, is this okay? Or do you think this is appropriate? I needed that before. But everything is set up so divinely that now I'm in a space where I'm just around the people who I need to be around. I'm not around the social things of, friendships and in that way,
Mhm.
because it's helping me to, and because now I'm in that space of not having all of that around me, it's helping me to undo those thoughts, to get out of my own way, because us being in our own way is allowing what other people think their thoughts or what they feel or how they think it should be or society feels it should be.
Mhm.
We allow that into our space, into our bubble, into our aura, and that's not
Mhm.
the way it should be. And
Yep.
so yeah, with my daughter, when she comes and she's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I want you to tell me what you
That's
think,
good.
because what I think doesn't
That's
matter.
excellent. That's
It
excellent.
doesn't matter." And I said, and yeah, it's nice to have people to agree and they love it and they applaud it, but you have to be the one to think of it first.
Exactly.
Like it can't be what somebody else thinks. So I tell her all the time, like, and we'll have back and forth conversations. Well, she's like, "Well, I don't know what I should." And I'm like, "Well, just think about it. What's the first thing that came to your mind?" Usually the first thing that came to your mind is the exact thing that it should be. And I explained to her, but then we spend time looking at what somebody else says, looking at what's coming down your feed, looking at and then all of that alters our God given intuition, that thing inside of us that makes us individuals and makes us authentic and original. And I'm like, so don't second guess it, don't second think it. If that's what you like, then go for it. And so she's like always wanting to know, "Well, what do you think about this juice? Is it good to you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm not giving you my like, do you like it? If
Mhm.
you like it, then great." And then I explained to her, if you like it, it may be something that I don't like, but don't change your opinion
Right.
or your thought because of what I think. We are different people. And so I overhear her telling her brother all the time, "No, we're different people. And I like what I like and you like what you like,
Yeah.
And that's
You're training her.
exactly
You're
what it
training
needs."
her.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
training her right now because I don't want her to grow up with the imposter syndrome. I want her to be able to look at whatever's happening in life and just be like, "I don't
Right.
resonate with none of that. So I'm only going to do it this way," and not feel a way that
Mhm.
she may be the only one, or that she may be doing it differently, and I want her to feel empowered that she
Mhm.
is the only one. Like, that's dope. You the only one. Ain't nobody else doing that, or ain't nobody else got that. That's the best thing ever. You don't want to do what everybody else
I
is
love
doing.
it. It's funny because my son is the opposite. My son will put on something, won't ask my opinion, and I'll look and I'm like, "That's what you're wearing, right?" Like I say, it's
That's
like
my son.
so. Look,
My
I
s-
asked him. I'm like, "That's what you're wearing outside." He's like, "Why? Why?" I'm like, "Why'd you choose that?" Because I like it. He won't ask my opinion, and now
Nothing.
in my eyes, I'm like, "What in the hell does he have on?" Right? But but I respect him enough,
Yeah,
the fact that he's so confident in
yeah,
what, like, I don't even care what he has on because the fact that he's so confident doing it, and
yep.
he doesn't even care that I'm not like, ooh, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I end up saying you look good because he's already in that confidence.
Already,
He
period.
don't care. Like, he's a Sagittarius. He
That's
gonna do
my
his thing.
son. He's a Sag.
And
Okay, so that makes sense.
Sagittarius don't care.
My
They're gonna do their
son does
thing.
not care. And
No,
bottom line, you're not going to convince him
you're
to
not
put
gonna tell me
something else
nothing.
on or change nothing. It's going to be his way or no way. It has to be exactly how he wants it.
Yep,
And he's not leaving the house until he gets it that way.
that's
Like, you're
it.
not going to tell me that it must be a Sagittarius thing
Listen,
because
my son
that's
will walk
him.
out of here with a Michael Jackson red and I'm like, okay.
Okay, that's my son. It's gonna be exactly how he wants it. There's no convincing him. You can't scare him into stuff like,
No,
"Oh, don't
you
go
know,
over there," because it's, and he'll scream in your face like, "No, it's not. I don't believe that, so it's not." And he'll
right.
go on and do. And so I love that. And so I'm learning that he sparks. My rising is a Sag, and
Uh-huh.
so he sparks that in me. He ignites that Sag in me, and I think this is how I'm able to break free of the social norms or break the generational curses or veer from, what I was taught growing up or the upbringing or the ideal of what it should be. And this is how I'm able to do it, I think, because of that Sag in me. But let me tell you, it's not been easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that social is that, even just down to what I post, I'm like, okay, I go back and forth. Okay, should I, is this going to be right? Okay, what are people going to, is this, am I posting it right? Do I have the right hashtags? Bump all of that. I'm sick of it. It's stressing me out and I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm going to do it exactly how I want to do it. And either it's going to work or it's work according to whatever, or it's not. But what I do know is that whoever it's meant for, they will get it.
There you
And that's
go.
just going to be that.
Yep.
That's just
But
gonna be that.
you brought up a good point a few sentences back when it comes to the scrolling. So when I was going through my stuff, I decided for myself that actually it's been a couple of years. I don't scroll down my feed. The only people's posts that I see, like Facebook, they have that algorithm thing. So well, as soon as I get on, the only people's posts that I'll see right away will be people who usually are on my post. So it'll be like you or whoever else usually interacts on my post, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
so therefore I don't have to scroll. You guys pop up, right? So
Yeah.
whoever pops up, if I see your stuff, cool. That's how I'll see it. But
That's
most
how
of
I
the
see
time,
it.
I don't scroll. I've stopped that a long time ago. I don't scroll, and
Yeah.
it's not because I don't want to see. This was something that was given to me. Again, this was downloaded into me. Like, just stop scrolling. I only when I'm on Instagram, I only look at motivational quotes and things of that nature.
And I
Um,
set my page up that way to where
right.
that's all I see.
And guess
Mm-hmm.
what? When I started doing that, something came to me. If you really look at, I know some of the artists that I admire. If you look at their page, they don't follow anyone. And that's
Nope.
when I realized, I said, you know what? Because you said something a couple of minutes ago. You said something,
Mm-hmm.
it takes away from your divine nature, your God
Yep.
given, when you're seeing other people's work. Because
Yep.
even if you're not the type of person, because let's be real, everybody, we're not set up. Well, I know you and you know me, right?
Yeah.
We're not the
Yeah.
type that's on some, oh, I want to look like that. That's not our makeup.
No.
However, once something goes into these gates, your eyes and your ears, it goes in your subconscious, right?
Yep.
So it's automatically playing in your head,
Yep.
and you feel like you have to do something a certain way. And so I was like, that
Yeah.
makes sense on why some of the certain artists like the Kendrick Lamars, the this, to that, they're not on social media, or they're not scrolling and looking at people's stuff
No, no.
because they don't want to take in anything. They don't want
I don't want to
anything to
take it
affect
in.
their vision. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Um, and so when I noticed that, I was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like all of this is set up when we're stuck scrolling and looking. This is all set up to
To do
distort,
that, to
to
distort.
create distortion.
And recently I've done the same. Just I don't even scroll anymore. I post. I may get on there
Right.
long enough to reply to people on my post. And
Hmm.
it's nothing like against anybody because I
No.
do want to support other people. But it is that it gets so draining and it can become so toxic in in nature because you are like so hung up on what, everything, how everything is happening and what everybody's doing. And it gets overwhelming for me. So I've had to pull back a whole lot. So anybody watching, if like, oh, she replied or
Right.
something, like, I ain't seen it because
No,
I just it's hard. It's so
I didn't
hard.
see it. I didn't
I
see it.
didn't
And
see it.
again, you got to realize I'm a words person. Look at the words. There's a reason why they call it influencers.
Yep.
Influencers. They're there to influence you,
Yep.
right?
To influence the masses.
Followers. Followers. You're following these
Following.
people.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
following
Yep.
people.
Yep.
So that means not saying you doing it on purpose, but
Mm-hmm.
subconsciously, when you become a follower,
Mm-hmm.
you tend to risk following that person's lead.
What they and with that, I've had to adjust who I'm following
But who you're
because
following,
I
right?
don't want to engage, be absorb certain things. I don't
Yeah.
want to absorb, what people are putting out,
Mm-hmm.
and it distorts what my mission is, what my purpose
Exactly.
is, and it allows for that imposter syndrome to take over us, and this is how we get in our own way. So what are some tips? What do you suggest, how to get
Well,
out
right
of your
before,
own way and to relieve yourself of this imposter syndrome?
right before we get to the tips, there's just one more thing that I wanted to say that shows up as imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
Sometimes people have certain gifts that come so easy
Hmm.
that they don't think that it's a big deal because it
Yeah.
came so easy. So it makes you feel like an imposter too. Um, because
Yeah.
it comes naturally to you, and someone else had to, get all these degrees to do it. They had to do this, they had to do all this hard work, but for you
So
it
you
came
start second guessing yourself. You start second thinking like, okay, well, is it really that easy? Should I be
easy.
doing more? Am I doing
Exactly.
enough? Do I really know? Because I haven't. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
so
mm, mm.
that was one of those things too. But to get to the tips, the first one would definitely be to recognize your accomplishments now, the
Mhm.
accomplishments that you already have. um,
Gratitude.
Gratitude, definitely practicing the power of now,
Yeah.
because I'm a firm believer in I shouldn't have to rest in peace. I should be able to live in peace.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because
Absolutely.
I shouldn't have to wait till I done passed on to be in
Just
peace.
get some rest and some
Right.
peace.
Can I
And
rest
to do.
now? I
Yeah.
like to rest.
I like to
So,
rest.
in order for me to make sure I get my rest, sometimes I have to sit there and say, girl, you good. You did look where you at right now. This was once. Look, you wanted once upon a time, you didn't want to have to work for no one. Once upon a time, you wanted to be able to wake up whenever you want to. Look,
Absolutely.
you're doing it
And I'm
now.
doing that. I do that. And then
Relax,
still have the nerve to be complaining or stressed, like,
girl.
but I need for it.
No,
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 it's
no, no,
like
no. Won't do that.
have gratitude in the moment. Be
That's
in
right.
the moment. Be in the now and be grateful right now for what it is that you have and that you have accomplished. That's good. That's real
Mm-hmm.
good. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And grounding yourself, I'd like to add, staying grounded. When you ground, that means putting your feet to nature or just sitting and meditating. on and bringing yourself aware, even when you just go and sit in nature and look around, at how abundant life is, and how the trees and the grass and the birds and
Yeah.
the bugs and the animals, they want for nothing, they lack
Nothing.
nothing. And just
Nothing.
putting yourself in that place and understanding that if they can be taken care of, then surely you can too. That helps me to ground myself and bring myself in the present, in the now, and help me to be grateful. Like, you know what? I'm exactly where I need to be.
Exactly where you need to
Yeah.
be.
Affirmations help too. Affirming.
I was going there. I was
Okay,
going
sorry.
there.
Go
No,
ahead. I
no,
want you to
no. Go
go
ahead.
there. Yeah, affirmations, affirming yourself. That helps you to stay in the now. It helps you to be grateful. It helps you to affirm, who you are, and in your gifts and your ability, your purpose, it affirms it. But yeah, I want you to say more on it.
And affirming
Mm-hmm.
yourself makes it so that you don't have to fake it till you make it, because you
Mm-hmm.
believe it. So when you
Yeah.
believe it, there is no room for faking it.
No, because it is so. When
It
you
is so.
affirm, it is so. It's not no, well, I will be one day,
It's
or no, no,
already
no.
done.
I am. It's done.
It's done.
I'm that. And it forces you to show up as
Add that.
who you say you are. When
Exactly.
you say you're this, if when you say you're a certain something, I am, you
And you
confirm these
believe it.
I ams and you believe it, and then you start showing up as it, then your world, the world around you, has no other thing to do but to bow to that,
Yep.
to give into who you affirmed and said that you are. Everything around you has to be in agreement with that. It has to
It has to
open
conform
up.
to it. It has to
Yeah,
conform
yeah.
to it.
It has to conform to it.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And this is how you create the world around you. We can create our realities, to be the way that we want it to be, not to be what somebody else says. And so whatever we think about, whatever we dwell on, so that's scrolling social media, the um Laquita,
The quite.
Laquetta, Laquetta, the being mindful. When we do that, you know, this is how we create our world. So if we're absorbing everything else, what everybody else, this is why we're so like stuck, and we're so
Hmm.
like can't get ourselves together,
Yeah.
because we've allowed what they said our world is going to be that.
And
But
they
no, we
also
have to
told us to do the fake it till you make it stuff.
all of
So
that.
like
You
that
can't
was
be authentic.
when I was coming up. That's all. I fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. No, why the hell I gotta fake it?
I'm not faking nothing. It's
I
gonna be
don't
you.
fake nothing.
This gonna be, you gonna get what it is. You gonna
Get
get this what
somebody
it
else to
is right
do
now. Get somebody else to do it, because I'm not doing no more fake, and I'm gonna be authentic. I'm gonna be who I am. I'm gonna be present, and I'm gonna show up like me every
it.
single
Exactly.
time. I'm gonna show up with who I am, and I'm gonna do it my way. That's the next
Right.
thing. You got to do it your
You
way.
gotta do it your
You got
way,
to
because
do
the
it the
people that
way.
need
Thank
you to
you.
be your way.
You got
Need
to
your
do it
way.
the way Spirit has given it to you to do it. He didn't say like, okay, well, I need you to do, but okay, well, let me get on here and look and see how everybody else. No, 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 no.
No,
Do it how it came to you, and that's just
right.
gonna be what it is. And who is it gonna be for? It's gonna who's gonna get it. Oh,
Exactly.
girl,
Exactly.
I'm
That
gonna get
fake
out of
it
my
till you
own way
make it thing.
tonight.
I feel like that fake it till you make it thing was the biggest start of imposter syndrome, because if you think about it, that makes sense on why even some of the most successful celebrities, you'll hear that they committed suicide, because they weren't
Mm,
living authentically to who they
they
were.
weren't. They
They
were
were
doing it
suffering
somebody
in
else's
silence.
way. Yeah, they
They're
were doing it
suffering
somebody
in
else's
silence.
way. Ooh, so when
You
we're not
understand?
being authentic, we are um that's when the imposters show up, because we're doing how somebody else wants us to do it. We're faking it till we make it.
You're going against your own soul.
That's so good, Rochelle.
But that's
That
how they
is
set
so
us
good.
up. That's how it's been
That's
set up to
true.
be. That
Mm,
people profit off of us doing that and feeling like that. The same people that
girl,
gave you the solution gave you the problem.
girl,
Okay.
girl. This is crazy, and I'm so guilty of it. And I've been doing so much better lately, like I said, because of the different techniques that I've been doing,
Mm-hmm.
how I've been affirming myself, and how I've chosen to be grateful for where I've come from to where I am now, and grounding myself and stop scrolling. I ain't been scrolling,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Mm-hmm.
been helping. And I feel like like I told you earlier, I feel like so much clarity, like the light bulbs to what I need to be doing and where I need to be at, and the anxiety passes away.
Yeah,
I don't have so much of it
yeah,
once I've let that go,
exactly,
and from
exactly.
here on, I'm choosing to show up as myself, my authentic self, and I'm going to give it however it comes to me. And I'm not going to, and I encourage anyone who's watching, to show up as yourself, be your authentic self, put it out the way that it was given to you and not the way life says that it should have to be. This algorithm is all fake. It's a part of the picture show, the
Woo!
stage show, an algorithm,
But why
you
do you think
know,
they keep changing the algorithm
because
thing?
it changes all the
To keep
time.
you
The
on the
minute you get
rise.
it,
To keep
the
you.
minute you get it and be like, oh, I got it, I'm going. It changes up. It switches up. Unless you're going to get out here and pay for
Right.
whatever to do whatever. And I'm not paying for a single soul.
Hello?
However, whatever following I have, it's going to be built authentically.
Yeah,
And I'm not doing that. It changes all the time, and I'm done trying to keep up with it. I don't want
yeah.
to. We have to live in this life, and we have to. But some stuff we don't have to conform to. Some stuff we don't have to keep up with, and we don't have to do it that way. Period. I'm not doing it. I'm not. I'm tired of it. I'm over it.
So I
I'm over
have
it.
two more things because I know we
Okay.
don't count. Two more tips.
Yeah,
One
yeah, yeah.
one more thing that helped me or helps me stay grounded.
Uh-huh.
You got to remember your why.
Oh yeah.
You have to remember why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you get sucked up in the numbers and the popularity and all of that. Now, listen, there are some people that's what they want. Some people want
Yeah.
fame. Some
Yeah,
people
yeah,
want
yeah.
popularity. Some
Yeah.
people ain't nothing wrong with that. That's their thing,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Some people. So this is for the people who are not generally concerned about that,
Uh-huh.
but know that they have something to offer or they
Right.
have skill. You have to remember your why. Like for me, I have to remember my mission is to empower other people to be who they truly are, to come as their authentic self. So that's my
Yeah.
why. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm content with the clients that I do have. Do I want to grow? Of course I want to grow,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I want to be able to just do that, but for
Mm-hmm.
now I have multiple streams of income to make sure. But it's my why that I'm doing it is because I love empowering people and
Yeah.
because it doesn't feel like work to me, right? It
Right.
comes
Right.
naturally to me, right? So
Right.
I remember my why. So I always
Mm-hmm.
tell people, remember your why. Why do you want to do this? Why
Yeah.
do you want to be this person? Why do you want to sell this? What's driving you?
Yep.
So
Yep.
that you won't focus on that other stuff.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
Because
that
it'll
other
get
stuff
you
will just come
distracted.
naturally. And that
Yeah,
other stuff will just come naturally and
absolutely.
organically.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? Because like I legitimately last week, 3 different places I walked into and I made money just by walking in.
Yeah.
I didn't pull out. They asked me like, "Oh, do you have anything on you today? Do you have this?" And they because I build connections, organic
Exactly.
connections.
Exactly.
And these are
Exactly.
establishments that I go to pay for services. I'll
Mm-hmm.
walk out and I didn't even have to pay for anything because my goods already paid for
Exactly.
my services, right? But
Exactly.
it's organic relationships where, they know you have a certain thing, they like you, they connected with you, then they start telling other people
Yep. Yep.
and it's being built organically. So when you're just walking in your why, the rest of
Mm-hmm.
that stuff comes organically. So this whole stuff, this illusion they got out there makes you think that you can't get it organically.
And you can. You absolutely
You
can.
absolutely can.
And that's why it's so important to reflect on where you are now, and coming from where you've been, because that's exactly how my life has worked. It has been organic.
Mine
Just
too.
any business, or how things build, it has been organic, and it's a true testament of how God takes care of his own, or her
Yeah.
own, or however you want to look at the divine
Yeah.
takes care of its own. Like, you're never wanting for anything. You're never lacking for me. I know for sure. Sometimes it may feel a little touch and go,
Right.
and like I
Sometimes.
don't know how to, but you're always, you always end up with exactly what you need
What you need.
and with extra for the things
And
that you want. You're always taken care of, always, especially
always.
when you are operating out of your why and doing the things, living your life on purpose, you know? So that's so good. That's
Yeah.
so true. It happens
Take the
the same
leap.
way.
Take the
Hmm.
leap and the universe will catch you. Take the leap. God got you. Like the minute you take the leap, that faith,
Yeah,
that's how you co-create with God.
that's exact. Ooh,
Because
yes.
some people are waiting for God to move something, but no, God waiting for you to make a step so that God can come in and move some things aside.
Yeah, because all you have to do is just walk, walk, walk. When you walk, don't worry about what obstacles you see. That's where God comes in. All you got to do is walk, and then that's when your spirit team gonna be jumping in, moving. Okay, let me move this. Okay, yep, or go this way, go around that way. That's when they're there to guide you, to protect, and to provide for you. So you standing there on the sideline, it's like, okay, well, I don't know what you want me to do, because all you got to do is just move,
Right.
and then I'm going to see that things are the way that they need to be along the way. That's exactly how it works.
Yeah. You got two jobs. Listen to the instruction and take action.
Period. Period. You got to do that. That's what you got to do. Just get, and like I said, stop trying to. Oh, well, I got to get ready. You're already ready. You were already born with the codes and the
You already given
keys
it. You
to
already
how
given it.
you need to live your life. To what steps you need to take, what moves you need to make.
Mm-hmm.
You already got
Mm-hmm.
that. Okay, what's
And the
the next?
last thing that
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say that helped me because I am so guilty of this. I
Uh-oh.
will overstudy and study and study and study and study. I
Yeah.
will research. I'm not making a move until I done dotted every I and crossed every T and nobody can ask me a question and I don't know the answer to it. Like no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. You
Mhm.
have to. You have to know. I mean, it's good to study, but you have to know that somebody needs you.
Yeah.
Like like I was told, what I know now, the people that are attracted to you are usually one step behind you.
Yeah.
So what you have to offer right now,
Mhm.
somebody needs that right now. You
Yeah.
can keep studying, but
Mhm.
don't wait till you finish studying extensively before you
Make a
start
move.
making a
Yeah.
move
Yeah.
because there are people that need you right now at the
Yeah.
level
With
that you're
what you
at
have right
right
now.
now
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
somebody else is on another level and trying to get on your level or trying to get what you have to offer right now
Yeah. Yeah. 1000%. No, that's so good.
because it
And
ain't about you.
it ain't about you. And I literally was asking these same questions last night. Just
Wow.
like, is there anything else I need to do? Like, what else can I be doing? Like, and I got the answer like, no, like you're right where you need
Right.
to be. And all you need to do is move with what you have at the
That's it.
moment, and everything else will be added unto you.
That's it.
Period, point blank. And you have to trust and believe and know that when you move forward and you get to a new space or a new level or that sort of thing, new situation, that what you need to know, you have to trust that it will find you, that it will come to you. You don't have to go searching and chasing and looking for and driving yourself nuts, because everything that is meant is going to fall right in your lap. It's going to come up. There's going to be synchronicities. It's going to let
Yeah.
you know. You're going to know, like, okay, this is something that I keep seeing. This is something that I need to go ahead and dive deep into, or that I need to look into a little further.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'm guilty of that too. I'm on a rat race looking around like, well, what don't I know? Maybe I need to
Right.
be knowing that. Let me go ahead and find some information. And sometimes it's like,
Hmm.
no, you don't need to do that. But as you need it, it'll present
It'll
itself to you, and
present
then
itself.
you'll
Yeah.
know, and you can look into it a little deeper, and that's that. But what we have to know is that everything that we need, all the answers, we can find within ourselves
Oh yeah.
all the time. Anytime
Oh yeah.
anytime I need an answer to anything, if I sit and I meditate and I connect in that way, I ask my Ori, my higher self, I always get the answer. by
Yep.
it coming to me, or something will pop up like online that's give me a good read about it.
Yep.
Always, every single
Always.
time it comes
Always.
to you, it finds you. And that's so good that you say that. Like, you don't have to overstudy, you don't have to overlook into things. You are already equipped with, you already got it. You got
Yep.
enough. Put that down. You got enough. Go ahead and move away, because that will keep you stuck. That'll keep you
Yep.
stagnant, and you will get in your own way in that way, because you're still trying to get more and more information,
That's
and you
me,
can't
girl.
move on what it is you already have. You're stuck. Get out of here. Put that down
That's me,
and just
honey.
move. Yeah. Oh, that is so funny.
That's me. I'm turning over every leaf. I gotta find out why, what, who, what, when, where, why.
All the things I need to know,
Or,
because the
or
last thing all because you're just thinking it's that fear of making a mistake, or fear of
mhm.
messing up, or fear of telling somebody the wrong thing, or that sort of thing. And I get it, but
But I mean,
the
you're
divine ain't
gonna
gonna
have
lead
to
you to it
learn.
and not see you through it. Okay,
Right,
you're not gonna be
exactly.
led to it to do something, and you're not gonna see. You're gonna have all the answers. Them downloads will start dropping in your
Absolutely.
spirit, like right on the spot, and be like. And then sometimes I find myself after a conversation like, well, how I knew all that?
Yeah,
How I knew to
exactly.
say all of that? I didn't know I
Exactly.
knew to say all of that, child. I done
Exactly.
shocked myself. But that's how
You
it
know
works.
why? Because sometimes when you're talking, you make yourself, and I learned this through my own experiences, you
Hmm.
become a channel for the divine. And so there are times where I'm speaking to somebody and I feel like, oh, that was good advice for me. Like I needed that. But because that's not even you anymore. Because when you're
No.
in your purpose and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're channeling messages,
Yes, you
right?
are.
And
It
so,
happens all the time. I'll
yeah,
just be looking like, now where'd that come from? How do
right.
I know
You're
that?
being a
It's good.
vessel, right? You're an open vessel. You're being used to help someone else. And then in the meantime, this happens all the time when I have clients. I'm like, well, dang, I needed that too. Sometimes I'm helping clients and I'm helping myself at the same time just by
I'm
what I'm
speaking
telling
over
them.
myself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. This is
Because we're
so good.
vessels. We're vessels.
At the end of the day, and we all are, just in our
Hmm.
own way, and in our own gifts, and
Yep.
how we're directed and guided to be a
Yep.
vessel. Because at the end of the day, we got to be about, what the church would say, you got to be about your father's business, because at the end, this ain't about us. At the
This
end of the
ain't
day, it's
about
about us
this
collectively.
kingdom business. This
This is
kingdom business.
kingdom business. And when we realize that, you can further get out of your own way.
How
Get
about
out of
that?
your own way. It's not about you. At the end of the day, it's about you, but it ain't at the same time. It's not about you.
No.
It's about raising the vibration and of the collective, and
Hmm.
having us all to elevate together and higher,
Playing your
and
part. Playing your
playing your
part.
part. Ooh,
Playing your
girl, that's
part.
so good. Playing your
Yes,
part.
ma'am.
This is so good.
Yes.
Um, and before we get out of here,
Hmm.
was there any final things that you would like to add?
I think that was mostly it, but it's
This was
definitely
good. This
to
was good.
have
If you
to be
missed the
able to,
beginning, you've got to go back, and
yes,
it'll be on replay. You can go back and watch it. I'm so very grateful for my sister friend Rochelle. Like, the divine speaks through you, spirit speaks through you so good. And especially the way you pour into my life, and I'm sure the people around you. I'm so very grateful. I'm so thankful to be able to be in this space, to share in this way, and have a conversation and chit chat, and be able to give it to whoever needs it,
yes,
and whoever's lives it touches. You know what I mean?
right,
And so I'm so thankful to be here, to
yes,
have some of this divinity poured on me, child, because I'm gonna get my life. Because at the end of the
girl.
day, one thing I say all the time, I ain't coming back. So I'm getting everything that I need this lifetime. I
Girl,
don't
you
need
better
to come
start
back and do it
saying that
again.
before you back anyway.
Be back anyway. I'm getting all the things I need. No, it ain't gonna happen, because I'm speaking over my life. It
Wait, now
ain't
what you
happening.
saying? You said you ain't doing what?
Because I came back this time with all the codes and the keys to get me up out of here. Okay. So, like, I seriously, I'm so thankful to
I'm
be
so
able
grateful for
to
you. I'm so
be in
grateful for
this
you.
space, and that my heart and soul and um is open to receiving all, the good stuff. So I'm so grateful for that. I'm
I
thankful
appreciate you.
for Everybody who is here watching, thank you for tuning in and being with us and
Thank you
learning how to
guys.
get out of your own way, because we've got to
Yes.
do that, because we've got some work to be done, and we cannot do that as long as we are stuck.
And make sure
Stuck.
you have a supportive tribe around you. Support, just be around people that are genuine and authentic and that promote
Please.
your authenticity. There's a
Thank you.
difference. There's a difference between people that value you
Mm-hmm.
and people that just know your value and keep you around for your value.
Come on. Come
Okay.
on. But then they
Okay.
don't want nobody else to see you. They don't want nobody else to really like they want to keep you like
They want
tucked
to
with
keep
that.
you there. Yeah.
No, no, share these
Discernment.
people. You gotta have
Discernment.
discernment. Hmm.
So
Discernment will
just
help you.
know your worth, know your value. Make sure you are around a tribe of people who know your value
Absolutely.
and value you and not just for what you can bring to them.
Absolutely. Now, Rochelle, tell people how they can follow you and find you if they'd like to get some coaching
Thank
to
you.
help with um, their lives and getting on track in the way that you know how to guide them so
Okay.
well.
Well, everyone can find me. Well, you can find me on Facebook at Rochelle Sine, which is spelled exactly the way that is on the screen right there. Or you can go to www.dlecoaching.com. That is my personal website. And
Mhm.
there you will find a list of the services that I offer. I even offer a 30-minute free consultation just so, we can get to know each other a little bit to see if, we vibe.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you so much for being here,
Thank
Rochelle.
you.
And thank you guys for watching. I'm so excited for the next one that we do. We always do really good ones. And so I'm
Yes,
excited for
yes,
the next
yes.
one. We have to figure out what that is.
All right.
Well, you guys, that is it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Conversations. And until next time, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you later. Bye.